everybody, and welcome to Wisdom Wednesday. It's great to see you again. On Sunday, we were talking about self-reliance and different things that you can do to become more self-reliant and how that actually feeds into your true personal independence. So today I want to go a little bit deeper into that subject, and the way I'm aiming now is I want to talk specifically about and to people who are living alone, doing the solo living thing. Many people love that. They love their freedom. They love the freedom that comes with solo living. But some people really don't like it and don't know what to do with themselves. So I thought I would chime in today about how self-reliance is heightened when you're actually living alone, and what kinds of things you can do with it to actually celebrate it and love it and become truly self-reliant this way. Let's talk about it. So I took a few notes about this, thought about it, journaled about it. I know a few people that are living alone, and I know what they like and don't like about it. So what I want to say, I'm going to be looking at my notes, so if you see me looking over, that's why. Living alone means you take charge of every aspect of your life. You can, by managing your emotions, you have to tackle household duties, make your own financial decisions, and you also drive your own personal growth without the immediate support of a live-in partner, family, or roommates. So what I want to let you know is, and this might be a shameless plug, I don't know, but I really just want to help you. I did write a book. I've written 4 books, and I've already shown you the journal that I've written. Now I want to show you another book that I wrote near Christmas time about 1.5 years ago. I think that's about right. And it's called The Art of Celebrating Alone, a Christmas Survival Guide, a Christmas Solo Survival Guide. And while it was written around Christmas time with some good Christmas options in it for people living alone and or with no family, the principles in it actually are great for those that live alone any time of the year. So in that book, and I will show it to you a little later, I said you have the advantage of being your own boss, setting your own schedule and activities for the day, eliminating the stress of coordinating and meeting the expectations of others. So this freedom comes with a unique responsibility. You're the one fixing the leaky faucet, cooking dinner, or finding ways to stay motivated during quiet evenings. Solo living demands a constant, hands-on form of self-reliance that can feel like a daily masterclass in independence. So that said, self-reliance isn't exclusive to those living alone. People in relationships, families, or communal settings also need to be self-reliant in their own way. You have to make your own personal goals. You still have to manage your own mental health. And you also still have to make tough choices without leaning on others. For example, somebody in a busy household might need to carve out time for self-care or stand firm on their decisions despite external pressures. The key difference lies in the immediacy and scope of self-reliance for solo dwellers. So when you live alone, there's no one else in the space to share the load in real time. So you're often your own cheerleader, your own problem solver, and your own strategist. So this can amplify the need for self-reliance, make it a defining feature of solo living. So also living alone, you can uniquely shape your self-reliance by fostering a deeper relationship with yourself. So in chapter 6 of this book that I wrote, it suggests that solitude offers an opportunity to recharge and focus on your own well-being. So then, and as I suggest in that chapter, you can do your own journaling, make a vision board, or practice mindfulness in ways that build your inner strength. So all of this aligns perfectly for what we talked about on Sunday about self-reliance. It's about trusting yourself to create a fulfilling life, no matter the season. So for those living alone, self-reliance isn't just a skill, it's a lifestyle that transforms challenges and opportunities into growth. So thinking a little bit deeper on living alone, it often means confronting your emotions like loneliness and self-doubt head on by yourself. But this builds emotional resilience. And my chapter has an emphasis on mindfulness and self-care. Mindfulness helps you make productive use of the present. It also helps you manage your inner world independently. And you learn practical independence living alone. It requires mastering practical skills, like cooking, budgeting, home maintenance, without defaulting to others for help. So this hands-on self-reliance can boost your confidence. As you learn, you are capable of handling life's demands yourself. And though it was written for Christmas, there's year-round relevance in this chapter and in lots of other parts of the book too. It's perfect for July. In July, a lot of stores have these Christmas in July sales. Well, this is why I thought, if they're going to do Christmas in July, why can't I? And so that's why I thought about bringing the book forward at this time of year. The tools in the book aren't just for Christmas. It's for every day that you choose to celebrate you and your solo independence. So let me let you take a look at the book now. Okay, here's a quick look at the cover. This is the paperback cover. It's also available in ebook. The Art of Celebrating Alone, a Christmas Solo Survival Guide. And that's my author name. And let's take a look at the table of contents. So here's the table of contents. I'm just showing it from my manuscript. And what you could do if you wanted to get it this time of year, just take the word Christmas out. And so chapter 1, you could say why some people are alone. And chapter 2, ideas for celebrating alone. And chapter 3, celebrating alone outside. 4 is celebrating in your community. Celebrating through travel. And 6, which is the chapter I'm bringing forth today, how to embrace your solitude and be transformed. Chapter 7, celebrating with your dog or cat. And chapter 8, what to do if you are too depressed to do anything. That's a very important chapter, too. And conclusion, resources, and about the author. This is what you would get in the book. The book is not very expensive. So you might want to go to Amazon and check that out. I will link it in my description box below. Now, I do want to take you through this chapter just to see what kinds of things you can discover that you might not have thought about doing on your own. There are too many people that who live alone, even when they live with somebody, would rather fill up their time with a TV turned on, even if they're not watching it, or their cell phone going with games and things all day long during their free time. There's much more you can do for yourself. You can't grow when you've always got this sound going on around you, whether it's the TV, which doesn't really give you much good mental nutrition, or the phone going all the time with games and things. That just means that you really don't want to be alone with yourself or your thoughts. And really, when you're alone with yourself, that's when personal growth happens. And I think that you really should take some time. You don't have to take all your free time in silence, but make sure you get a good amount of time with yourself every day in silence, or doing something that you love that doesn't involve television, social media, or games. There's a time and a place for those things, but not all your free time should be taken up with that. That's my opinion anyway. Let me show you some things that you can do to help with your personal growth. So here we are in chapter 6, embracing your solitude and being transformed. And This is just the intro to it, very short intro, but I like what I've said down towards the end of the paragraph. It basically says, whether it's pampering yourself, reading, or engaging in activities you love, you have the time and space to focus on your well-being. And so that's the point of the whole book, focusing on your well-being, embracing your solitude, and getting to do the things you could do, maybe not so much if you have another person with you. This is the time to embrace your solitude. And these are, some of these things are things that I've already suggested in my journal, but some people who didn't get the journal might need to see this. So the first one is starting a journal. So you can get a lot of journals on Amazon or your local stationery store. But I have written one myself, and I will show that to you also. You can write down your thoughts and feelings, your aspirations, your fears and dreams. And many people also journal about gratitude. So, but I love using a physical journal because it's more fun and personal for me that way. So let me take a second and I will show you that journal. Here's a quick look at the cover of the journal. It's the 3-in-1 guided journal study guide activity workbook with famous quotes to improve your health, wealth, and happiness. And if you haven't seen the very first video in on my channel, it's called Blue Journal. And hopefully I'll remember when I'm editing this to put the link in somewhere here. If not, I will link it below for you. So that was the journal. I do highly recommend that you get some sort of journal, even if it's a blank journal, to maybe track your progress day to day, what things you're working on. And next, I always say you should have a vision board. So that's something where you take a blank canvas, such a poster board, and you add images, quotes, and symbols so that you can represent your aspiration, goals, and dreams, because when you place it where you can see it every day, it kind of helps manifest your future. So you can take those images from old magazines, old photos, or from online sources. And in this chapter, I give you a lot of links and articles and things that helps you get some examples to see kind of how to do things. I also encourage reading motivational and inspirational books. So you might know what you want to change in your life, but not how to do it. So a great book sometimes comes along and transforms you into the person you've always wanted to be. And so this is a list of some of the books that helped transform my life, such as The 24-Hour Turnaround, The Power of Full Engagement, Managing Energy Not Time, Think and Grow Rich, The Power of Now, Personal Development for Smart People, The Master Key System, and The 4-Hour Work Week. Those are all great books that have helped turn my life around. And then I recommend practicing mindfulness and meditation. So when you're alone, you may face feelings of worry and anxiety, inadequacy, things like that. Some people revel in solitude, others don't. But you can take control of your mind and feelings by practicing mindfulness and meditation. And so I have a few links there that you can go to help you get that done. Headspace.com, Calm.com, HM Innovations, Time.com, MindfulnessExercises.com. Also, you might want to try learning something new, pick up a new skill, or some new knowledge in an area that you're interested in. It keeps you busy, helps your self-improvement. Maybe you'll even start a business. And some of these places that you can learn things is like Udemy.com, Skillshare, Ed2Go, Wondrium.com, which used to be called The Great Courses. I've done a couple of those. I really love them. You can express your creativity. It helps with various psychological, emotional, and even physical benefits. It's crafts, do-it-yourself projects, writing, music, painting, anything like that. It can play a huge role in enhancing any kind of experience for you when you're alone. So it can help you foster a sense of joy, connection, personal fulfillment. And I found a few hobbies that I hadn't heard of before. Some of them I had, but have you tried any of these, like candle or soap making, learning a new language, coloring and coloring books for adults, podcasting, calligraphy, scrapbooking, photo shoots for Instagram, wood carving, jewelry making, cooking international recipes, home beer brewing, decoupage. And for something really different, you can go at skillcourses.com and look for weird hobbies. Pretty interesting. And another thing you can do is you can plan a self-care day. A lot of people don't even do this, and you wonder why they're feeling so bad. Self-care matters because it's what weaves resilience, balance, and vitality into your life. Some of the things that you can do for self-care could be physical self-care, and I have an article there you can look up. You can try for more balanced nutrition. I have a book called How to Eat More Plants, which helps. Get more sleep if you're having trouble. NIH.gov has some helpful advice there. Take a relaxing bath, bubble bath, or shower. Warm baths are linked to decrease in stress hormones and more balanced serotonin levels. Cleveland Clinic did an article on that. You can try gentle stretches or yoga. Harvard.edu did an article on that. There's mental and emotional self-care. And I've got an article LEmentalhealth.com has about 18 activities that you can take part in. Some of them are like deep breathing, having a hot beverage, cleaning and organizing, getting a massage, listening to comedy, and more. Limit your screen time, as I've said before, because too much screen time can make you mentally fatigued, can make you feel stressed out. You have to set timers or use your Alexa app to help you stick to your time management goals. Social and relationship self-care, connecting with loved ones through phone calls, video chats, or in-person visits. Set some boundaries like we've talked about before. Creative and recreational self-care, like engaging in hobbies and taking breaks. Getting a change of scenery to reset your mood and thoughts. There's environmental self-care. Create your own relaxing environment by adding plants, organizing your clutter, personalizing your surroundings, using neutral colors like blues and greens because they have a calming effect. Spending time in nature, that's a great one. I really love doing that. It always lifts my mood when I'm out in nature. Spiritual self-care. You can practice gratitude, use a gratitude journal. What are you grateful for each day? Even if you've had a bad day, there has to be at least one thing that you can be grateful for. Maybe having a roof over your head. Spiritual practices, which I have an article at chopra.com that helps with that one. And you've got professional and financial self-care. You have to have some boundaries, professional boundaries, so you don't overwork and you have time for relaxation. For financial planning, many different outlets, places you can go online to look for that. I have a book called Financial Planning for Dummies that's very helpful. And so this is some of the things you can do for self-care. One of the things I wanted to draw attention to is volunteering. I want to talk about that next. Okay, so hopefully those two books give you an idea of how I can help you with self-reliance. And now I want to talk about volunteering. Why volunteering? What's that got to do with self-reliance? Well, actually, it does have a lot to do with self-reliance. First of all, it requires you to seek out opportunities, whether, a local food shelter, an animal shelter, or a community center. So This is how you learn something new and you engage in creative activities. It's just another way. And it involves actively shaping your life rather than waiting for connection to come to you. So that's the first thing. Secondly, it'll help build your confidence because you're going to be contributing to your community. You develop a sense of competence and self-worth, which are key components of self-reliance. So the chapter 6 in that first book that I showed you focuses on acknowledging an intrinsic worth through self-care. That applies here too. Volunteering reinforces that you're capable of making a difference on your own. And then next, you help create a support network for yourself. Volunteering allows you to do that. It's a way to combat loneliness too, by forming connections without depending on others to initiate. So, and the last one is emotional resilience. It can help shift your focus from loneliness to purpose, strengthening your emotional self-reliance. So mindfulness, it's a mindfulness thing. It helps you make productive use of the present. So as volunteering grounds you in meaningful action. So instead of surrounding yourself with a loud TV or video games all day just to take the focus off yourself, it's more meaningful for you to go out into the community and give of yourself to others who also might be lonely. They might be needing help in some way, some advice or some other kind of help. You know, this world needs you. This world needs your help. So whenever you're not doing your own thing and you've got some free time, think about helping someone else that may be less fortunate than you, because I think that will really also help build up your self-esteem and your self-reliance. So you might try looking online for opportunities in your local area for volunteering, but some of the better well-known ones that you might also want to think about. Number one, Meals on Wheels. I'm sure you've heard of it. And so what you do there, you deliver meals, you can assist with meal preparation, you can provide companionship during deliveries. Next, there's Habitat for Humanity. You can have construction tasks like framing and painting, fundraising or community outreach. This could be one time or ongoing. And there's also the American Red Cross. What you can do is you could greet blood donors, assist in disaster shelters, or help with administrative tasks. And then there's also the Salvation Army. With them you can serve meals, sort donations, or assist with youth programs. If you have a local animal shelter, you can help walk dogs, clean cages, or assist with adoption events. There's the YMCA. Coach youth sports, assist at community events, or help with food drives. And there's a volunteer match, which is volunteermatch.org. There are many different roles. Some of them include tutoring, environmental cleanups, and event support. And also in your local areas, you might have an adult education center where you might go for helping with teaching, assisting with teaching, or maybe even administrative tasks there too. I used to work at an adult ed center, and we had lots of volunteers that helped out in the classrooms. So as you see, being alone doesn't have to be a time of loneliness and discouragement. If you can change your mind about it, you can change your life, and maybe someone else's life too, by volunteering. So thank you for spending your time with me today at Wisdom Wednesday. I hope you picked up some good information or advice, and that you're going to start on something. Even if you're not living alone, you can claim some alone time to do some journaling, or think about doing some volunteering in the community. Something to help yourself become more reliant, help grow yourself personally, get your personal independence, and share some of your time with other people as well. And so thanks a lot for being here, and I hope to see you on the next Self-Help FAQ video. And if you have any questions, please leave them below in the comments or write to me at barb@selfhelpfaq.com. I have my contact information in the description below, and I might even pick your question for this Friday on Follow-Up Friday, where I answer viewer questions. Looking forward to it. Hope you have a great day. Please check out all my links below. Join the Patreon if you haven't yet. I'll be filling that up soon. Looking forward to that as well. So don't forget that I've already done the first 4 chapters in my blue journal. Catch up with that starting with the first week, and I'll link to that below as well. And then I go forward with that in the Patreon in the first tier. So check that out. Hope to see you next time on Self-Help FAQ YouTube channel. Have a great rest of your day.